Okay, so I was playing some Roblox poker, if you will, and I got into a little scuffle with some people. They were fucking dickheads, and they were picking on my little friend, so I decided to, stand up for him, be a good Samaritan. And after our little scuffle, they immediately leave, and I'm like, what the fuck's up with them? And I check their little profiles, and I come to find out that they seem pretty suspicious, so to speak. And what I mean is they seem to have been password guessed, and I guess that's what I want to talk about. By the time you're hearing this, it's probably like a week old, but whatever. Here are 5 ways to tell if someone's password guessed on Roblox. Number 1, their attire is stuck in an obscure era. What do I mean by this? Usually when you see more vintage Roblox players, they either evolve or they, especially with older players. I think I said that already. But yeah, like I've been playing for a while, and I'm not really one to go back to the classic times. My avatar is pretty modern, or the avatars I choose to wear are pretty modern, but there's a lot of people who stick to simplistic, kind of old-fashioned classic era, if you will, Roblox avatars. People who have been password guessed like recently will have like a weird time, like 2016. I know 2016 is like the modern like 2008, but it's pretty obscure, and people who played at like 2011 are probably not gonna really cling on to 2016. These guys were from 2011, and they were dressed like they were from like 2016, 2013 online dater type of drip. So it came off as a bit suspicious. Number 2, very instigative and insolent behavior. As mentioned previously, we were playing poker, me and my mate, and they were the ones to fucking come out of the woodwork. Literally, we did nothing, and they were like, "Hey, you're fucking ugly," to my friend. And I was like, "What the fuck? Fuck you." And yeah, they'll be very quick to anger. They'll get angry at you. They're very quick to be fucking condescending. And I know some people are like that, especially old heads, but they were the ones to start it. Usually you gotta tick them off or something. They did it without any reason. And I think the reason they do that is like being dickheads, like starting these little scuffles, is because they want to flex their newly acquired account. That's the philosophy behind it. Like, if I be an asshole and start all these little beefs, I could flex my account age. Number 3, public settings. Again, the settings here are now much more strict. For example, if you're like an older profile, people can see what stuff you have in your inventory. More newer players won't have that, and people who've been playing for a while probably will privatize it because they don't want to get stalked or something. I don't know. They usually say, "Oh yeah, I don't want to get fucking harassed by Billy Sniper 26 over here," and fucking crank their privacy up. People who like you can follow, you can message, and their privacy settings are pretty fucking open, then they're probably password guessed, because everybody I know are on that fucking leave me alone timing. Number 4 is a big span across their items. If you look at their items, which you should if they're fucking password guessed, they didn't fucking change their shit. But if you like take a gander at what items they owned, they'll probably be from very, very long time ago, and they'll have little, if any, changes in it. Like when I look at this profile right here, I could see that they only have stuff from like 2011, 2012, and no new items. Now this is very suspicious because a lot of people, even old heads, buy some type of UGC. It's so omnipresent that you can't even fucking ignore it anymore. Here's another example. These were the 2 guys that fucking called us out. I'm not gonna name their names, but fuck them. Fuck you, insolent bastard. Alright, number 5, also a gap in their favorites. What does that mean? Well, simple. If you look at their favorites and they're from like 7 years ago, and then suddenly it's now this super recent, super fucking contemporary game, it's probably gonna raise some suspicion. As you can see, you got Cole's Admin's House, fucking RPG no one plays anymore, and then Arsenal, a contemporary game. It's like, what the hell? What have you been doing for like the past 6 years? Oh, I guess a bonus tip. They get verification at a very late date. Again, looking at this guy got verified way into his fucking Roblox career. It's his most recently bought hat, and before that shit from like 2014. It's very suspicious. Anyways, just thought I'd let y'all know how to tell if someone's password guessed, and I hope you enjoyed watching. And I hope you learned something today. Alright, that's it. That's the video. Bye-bye.